Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the One of These Days podcast. As always, I'm joined by Jack.
What's going on, everybody? How are we?
Now, I'd like to apologise in advance because we're recording this at 10:30 at night. So if we doze off during this, it's not our fault, or it kind of
I'm
is.
ready.
But
I'm
okay.
ready. I'm up and about. I've had a Pepsi today, a
Oh, gee.
Pepsi Max.
He's having the sugar rush. He's very enthused.
Yeah,
I think this is probably the first time I ever drank coffee. I had to stay awake for this one. I was cooked today, and I nearly forgot to listen
yeah.
to the
Well,
album, but I trooped through it. So
my
um,
caffeine rush. Both of us are.
yeah, we're about to have a heart attack from it. So obviously last night there was the Brownlow Medal. Ollie Wines won. What did you think of that?
That's who I predicted. It's probably the most deserved, but Brownlow Medal's becoming a bit of a joke. Like, how the fuck does Ollie Wines get the most votes in history? Equal most? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, who fucking gives a fuck about the Brownlow anymore? Just a midfielder's award.
I thought there probably could have been. I thought it was probably going to be a bit closer, and feel like everybody kind of did. But
Yeah, it was
yeah,
kind of boring, underwhelming in the end.
yeah, because like you got to probably about round 18, and you kind of knew he was going to win it because Bont wasn't going to rank any higher. So
Yeah, he
um,
had three shit games in a row in the
so
end,
in the
so
end, it was
anyway.
Wines 1, Bontempelli 2, and Oliver 3.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're pretty lucky the podcast is happening today because I was nearly going to pull um, a Melbourne Football Club sook moment and
Jeez.
just not show up because I really had faith in Clary. Maybe next year. So
Really? You had faith in him? Come on,
yeah.
man. Next year, maybe.
Well, I
Next
don't.
year.
It's been a very surreal year as a Melbourne fan. Even making the grand final, even a week on, it feels very surreal. So I mean, um, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I thought we could have been in for a three-way tie. Apparently not. So
Three-way tie.
three.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Okay. So we've got a returning segment this week, as per usual. But in the
Mhm.
news, I've got a couple of points that have happened throughout the time between the last podcast and the one we're filming right now. So,
Mhm.
first point, is the TFCal channel dead? Or the account dead?
No, I think it's still well
I
and
think
truly
it is.
alive. You just have to have better.
I'm in the bin here, I reckon.
Just have to have better ideas, Cal.
Yeah, well, that's the issue. I've rinsed everything for what it's worth, and I'm flat on ideas.
Might have to give you some ideas, mate.
Yeah, well, that I don't know. It's a bit of a rough patch at the moment, but who knows?
Yes.
I might have a stroke of genius tomorrow, and I could be Charlie D'Amelio as predicted. But no,
Yeah,
okay. So
lots of
that was the
potential.
first part of the week. I've accepted my inevitable downfall. The Emmys were last night, and nobody cares, so we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah,
Uh,
literally don't know what happened at all. I
yeah,
know Ted Lasso won something because I actually like Ted Lasso, but that's
wow.
all.
Yeah, I I don't care about award shows anymore. They just
Me
suck.
neither.
Um, Billy Brownless quits the Sunday Footy show. Thoughts on that? That's a very sad moment. I think.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely devastating. He's like probably the best on there. He carries, I
Jeez,
feel, a little bit. So,
bit biased as a
you know,
Geelong fan, don't you think?
who else? Who carries on there?
I don't mind a bit of TJ. He can
EJ.
yeah chompers.
God,
No, I'm popular.
Billy Brownless is the only one with a little bit of personality on the
Oh
show.
wow, jeez, shameless. So you know,
Yeah.
gonna lose a viewer, are they?
No, I'll still watch. I like What Caught My Eye, but Billy did carry What Caught My Eye as well. But
Mm,
you know, you just have to accept these things. Hopefully, Ethan Brown can step up here, or Matthew Lloyd.
yeah,
I think Matthew Lloyd probably is second best.
it's the calling.
Uh, and Corns, I fucking hate, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, now the big part of news for the week. You probably saw this somewhere along the line. It only happened a couple of days ago. But Liam
Mhm.
Gallagher fell out of a helicopter and landed on his face. Um,
Yeah, I don't know
and
what happened there.
yeah,
It was pretty funny,
I don't know
but
how you fall out of a helicopter.
well, it
He
was it
has
was
his
on the
ways,
ground,
obviously.
right?
Right.
It was on the ground, but I feel like falling in a helicopter kind of means people assume that he was up in the air and
Yeah. Well.
he fell out like and dropped 50 feet. But no, he was on the. Assuming some sort of drugs or alcohol were involved, he was on this A helicopter just landed. The door opens. He's stumbling out, and then he just falls face first onto the
Well,
grass.
well, I mean that's probably a walk in the park compared to what he survived in the 90s. So I mean,
Mm,
fair
yeah.
enough. But
What'd you do? Heroin every day, or fucking falling out of a helicopter?
right. Well, now that you've kind of debunked the whole "it was in the air" theory, that kind of ruins my next question. Was Noel driving the helicopter?
Uh,
Thought it was
well,
quite
just for the
clever.
sake of comedy, we'll say yeah. He
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
He was.
Right. Okay. Yeah. He was. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. That's my official statement.
His official statement: Noel Gallagher was driving the helicopter. You don't even drive a helicopter; you fly a helicopter. I don't know what I'm on about.
Pilot a helicopter.
You pilot. What's the correct terminology here? You pilot.
Pilot a helicopter.
Do helicopters have pilots, or do they have?
No, helicopters have pilots.
No, planes have pilots. The
Helicopter
helicopters.
pilots. Let's actually ask Siri here.
Oh,
Hey
jeez.
Siri, what do you call someone who drives a helicopter?
I found this on the web.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
not much help there, Siri.
I'm-
If you have a strong desire to fly for a living, being an airline pilot doesn't appeal to your sense of adventure, becoming a commercial helicopter pilot may be a good career choice. So there you go.
Jeez,
Helicopter
this is
pilot.
rough. I blame the country that article was made in.
Blame the
Obviously,
education system.
yeah, obviously not the mighty Oz. Well, not so
I think it's
mighty Oz.
everywhere. I think it's just
Hey,
they
hey,
specifically got it wrong. But
don't slander my English. I think
sorry.
TFL's never wrong, you know.
Yeah, fair.
Right. Okay. So, do you have anything else in the news that caught your eye? Not to
Uh,
rip off any
well,
segments of other TV
let's just
shows.
go on to the news.
Right.
Is there anything that caught my eye
Anything that
specifically?
caught your eye?
No, not anything
No.
since the last podcast. No.
Okay, fair enough. So that'll lead us to the next segment. As always, every week we give each other a album of our choice, and the other has to review it.
Yeah.
This week, Jack gave me The Who Sellout by The Who, and I gave him Shake Shiver by Art of Sleeping. So I'll go first because I've got very strong opinions on this album. So
Wow, extensive review.
extensive review. So okay, I don't think you're gonna like what I've said about the album. So
Wow.
this is just a bit of a warning
Gosh.
beforehand.
Good.
So I haven't gone through and ranked every album like I did every song on the album like I did last week because it was
jeez.
a bit long and a bit strenuous. But
Oh
right.
no, Cal. I think
So-
you might have listened to it like as the whole thing. I think
oh no.
there's the only like the first 10 songs is supposed to be listened to,
Right.
Cal.
Well, okay. Well, I don't think it really makes a difference because there was only a couple of standouts on the album, in my opinion.
God.
One's okay, right. So I should probably read the summary first before I read the highlight and the note I put with that.
Wait, did you listen to the whole 1
Yeah.
hour and 11 minutes of the
Yes,
album?
yeah, I listened to that.
Oh no, Cal.
Okay, so this is my official statement on the album. This was bad, like really bad. I fell asleep midway through listening to this. It was that bad. It was like a terrible impression of Piper at the Gates of Dawn. It was too long, too inconsistent, and an overall mess.
Oh, you've listened to it wrong. It's only supposed to go for 38 minutes. You've gone past the songs.
Yeah, well, okay,
that
well,
you're supposed to listen to.
take out an overall mess, and then it's not an overall mess. The other one too long, and then it's still the same. It was terrible. It was god awful. Okay,
Ridiculous.
so I've still got a highlight and a low light. However, what do you want me to go first? Low light or highlight?
Go for the low light first. So we end on a high note.
Okay. Well, I was hoping you'd say highlight. So the low light was pretty much everything else. I said.
Me. You listen to it wrong. I'm never recommending you the Who again because there are a bunch of boomers who run the Who on Spotify have just gone and added all the extra tracks on their albums. I just want a solid album with just the songs that were originally meant to be on the album, not some stupid demos. You've listened to it wrong. I'm disappointed.
Jeez. Okay.
You've listened to it wrong.
The highlight, however, was Medak. Is that it? Is that how you say it? Medak.
Yeah, I think it's Medak.
I said partially because it was one of the shortest songs on the album. So I'm gonna put a rating next to it, and it's probably, without a doubt, it's the worst rating we've had on the show so far. I've
Mm.
gone for a 2 out of 10, and
Medak.
no, the overall album.
Oh, this is disgusting because you
This
listened
is,
to it wrong.
ugh.
It's
I'd
devastating.
give Medak
What
probably
about?
about a 5. I think that was alright.
Okay,
It was
okay. Let me
tolerable.
let me quiz you on individual songs if you can remember.
I don't remember
What do
any.
you?
It was a very.
Shut up.
I
What?
remember
Shut
like
up.
one other song.
Shut up.
Okay,
What
okay.
about I Can See for Miles? What do you think of that?
I don't remember it. I, don't-
Fuck me,
I
that's a
don't
great
remember. I don't
song.
remember anything from this album.
I tisk you, young man. I tisk you. Well, you're not gonna like my review either, even though I've given it
Okay,
a higher rating.
jeez.
Just go on to mine
Break
swiftly.
up with the podcast. Oh, jeez.
It's
What are
disgusting.
we up
You've
to?
made me listen to it.
Episode 5, and we're already over. God, this is terrible.
You've made me listen to your stupid review of a great album. And now you made me listen to
I know.
this stupid Australian alt rock band. I hate
I know.
Australian alt rock.
Well,
I
you're gonna
hate
love the
it.
rest of the. You're gonna love the rest of the podcast, aren't you?
I'm just gonna fucking love
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so for this album, which was Shake Shiver by whoever, who fucking cares?
Art of Sleeping,
They
if you're listening.
what is it?
Art of
Art of
Sleeping.
Sleeping. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
One album in their whole career
Mm.
since 2015. Have they broken up or what? What's going on with
Well,
that?
I'd assume so if they haven't released since 2015. But
Yeah, but they started in 2010, around that. So
yeah, well, you'd assume so. But
maybe they're just one of those weird bands.
just on a hiatus, you know.
Yeah, maybe they're like One Direction.
I live in faith
So
that they'll return. Okay. Anyway,
yeah.
sorry. I'll let you go.
Anyway, um, so I think it's just not appealing to me. It just feels a little bit boring.
Oof.
You know, there's nothing that particularly goes, wow, that's fucking incredible. You know, it's all just kind of boring.
Okay.
Um,
I was prepared for this.
yeah, I don't know why you like this so much, to be honest. Um,
It
yeah, the
it.
vocals
Right.
on this album are okay.
Ah.
It sounds a little bit too much Joey Ramone-ish. It's kind of like, oh yeah, you know, sort of like that. Uh, um, you know, it's just not appealing to me because it's Australian alt rock, and I
Jeez,
hate that
devastating.
shit. So,
Yeah, I tend to
worst song
agree,
on
but
this
I thought that
album,
was alright.
worst song on this album's Voodoo,
Mm,
Us.
mm.
There's this one line in the song that really pissed me off.
Do you
And
remember
it's
what it was?
treat me cold like a winter.
It sounds like
What
something
do you
that we'd
think?
put in one of our songs if we ever made one.
No, we'd be better than that because that
Would
is the
we?
worst lyric I've ever heard in my life. Treat me cold like a... If you're listening, whatever your name is, a sleep of fucking whatever you are. What's with the lyrics, mate? I hope they get better when you release your next album. If you haven't all broken up with each other,
Jeez.
improve, please, because that is disgusting. The lyrics aren't particularly great on the rest of the album either.
It's
Look,
rough.
worst song was Voodoo. Best song is Bleeding Out, which I
Yes,
think
yes.
you've had on your TikTok before.
It was
Had
on
on
a
your
flop
TikTok
video,
before.
so that's a bit of a rough area, but
No, I watch all your videos, so it's
yeah,
okay.
good,
Um,
good man.
overall for this album, I'm giving a 5 out of 10.
Okay, not as bad, not as bad as my. I thought
It's
I,
not
I
appealing to me.
right, okay, fair enough, and that's your right. So, have you got a recommended album? I'm assuming you probably have forgotten, because
I've got actually a few to
always got a
choose
few.
from.
Okay, do
You
you want me?
recommend one to me first.
Okay, my recommended album is WL by the Snuts. It's a new album, fresh off the
Okay.
press this year. Might have seen them
Jeez.
on my TikTok a couple of times. So yeah, up and coming band. Getting pretty big at the moment, I'd say. So
Fair enough.
yeah, I don't know how you'll feel about it. Kind of playing along to the theme of the other couple of weeks, but the last couple of weeks. This is yeah, so it's kind of the same thing, but I have hope for these people because I feel like
Yeah.
if they can break the barriers of the modern day, Jack Ray might respect a bit more. So
Yeah, okay.
I'm kind of hoping.
What are your thoughts on the album?
I think it's definitely the best album to come out this year.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's probably got my favorite song of the 2021s, 2020s rather. God, I can't. I'm slow. Um,
Are these cunts British or what?
Scottish, I think. So, um,
Yeah. Okay. So that's British.
oh, jeez,
Yeah.
you just offended a whole nation.
Uneducated Cal. What do you mean? British is the whole island, mate.
No, it's not. Britain's
Yes, it is.
Britain's like the select part of because there's
No,
no okay no okay Britain, Wales, and Scotland and Northern Ireland make up the UK.
no,
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 no.
that's how it
Britain's the
works.
whole island.
No, oh, actually, yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh, God.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, I apologise. I'm thinking of England,
yeah.
not Britain.
Racist
Um,
Cal moment. Yeah,
jeez.
okay, okay.
Rough.
The one I'm giving to you, I don't know if you listened to this. There's a chance you
Hmm.
might have. I'm gonna stick
Probably
with it
not.
anyway.
Okay, go for it.
It's In the Aeroplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel.
Funny story about that. I haven't listened to it,
Yes,
luckily
get
enough,
in.
but I nearly listened to it today because I saw it somewhere. I don't remember where I saw it. It might have been TikTok,
Okay,
and I'm
well,
like,
that's if you're
I've
planning on
seen,
listening to it, that's good.
I've seen that around a lot, so I might give that a listen. But lucky I didn't.
You give
So
it a listen. It's a great album.
okay, what was it called again? I might
The Aeroplane Over the Sea by
the
Neutral
airplane
Milk
over the sea
Hotel.
by Newsham. Okay, right, goodo. Okay, so Thursday is our next podcast, I believe,
Yes, I believe.
unless we have a horrible Oasis-esque breakup.
Yeah, we might after that 2 out of 10.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough off-air fist fight, but we can't. Not indoors though, because we're law-abiding citizens.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So last week, obviously, not last. Oh, it is last week. You can say last week. This episode. We were we do the discography ranking every week. Last week we did Gorillas,
Staple of the show.
staple of the show. The three iconic segments
Yes.
between our many listeners.
So
Um,
there's another recurring segment today, though.
yes,
Only two
there is.
possible episodes of this segment,
This is
but yeah,
this is a bit of a clone of last week's episode, if I'm being honest. But it's got a couple of new twists and turns. So
yeah,
stay listening if you're excited. So this
I'm
week
excited.
for the discography ranking, we're doing Tame Impala. Jack is made it very clear that he's not a fan of Tame Impala, so I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to waffle on about how much I love them at the moment.
Yeah,
So
I can still say stuff I don't like about Tame Impala. That's okay.
yeah, right, fair enough. I'm going through a bit of a Tame Impala phase, so this is going to be very interesting to see what you have to say about the band that's slowly creeping up on Oasis on my all-time list. So okay,
This is gonna suck for me because I actually like Oasis. My God,
jeez. Well, no, they're not going to be better than Oasis. I can reassure you that. Um,
I'm actually gonna have to personally go up to Liam and Noel and make sure they get back together so you find your love of Oasis again.
well, the Network
Have to
documentary is coming out
boys.
in 3 days, so that
It's not
might.
an album though. Noel doesn't give a fuck about it, so we're
He's
gonna just
actually
have to.
he's been very compliant with this documentary, so you never know.
Yeah, but he cares more about himself on the album, not about the band
Yeah, but
on the
you're right.
on the documentary. Anyway,
Anyway, okay. So we've got four albums. Is that correct? I'm
four
assuming.
albums, bit of an easier one.
Bit
We're
of
not
an
doing
easy
the
one.
live one.
No,
Could have
yeah.
done the live one, but I
I
can't
nearly
be
bought
fucked.
that last night on vinyl. I didn't end up doing it because the shipping would have taken like 4 months. But
Right.
yeah, there you go. True story.
Hey, story
Uh,
about shipping. I've bought a Wolverhampton shirt, a Wolves shirt from the Premier League.
Avid
And I
Wolverhampton
bought it
fan.
4 days ago, and it still hasn't left bloody England. It still hasn't even left Wolverhampton.
Jeez.
Ridiculous.
Why would you buy it from Wolverhampton? Did you buy it from the official shop?
Yeah, I bought it from the official shop because the one that I want is this year's one, right? And
Yeah.
it was in my size. It wasn't in stock in the only Australian website
Oh,
that's
jeez,
there that
rough.
sells it. So
Yeah.
and now it's back in stock there. I don't know if I can get a refund because I feel like I just get a refund. Tell them to send the shirt back. I don't. I feel like that's probably not a good thing to do. So yeah,
Yeah, no, it might be a bit of a
good
wait
move.
on that one, but who knows?
Wait,
Right,
I can
okay,
wait.
so number 4, what have you got?
Number 4, I've got Inner Speaker.
Oh, Ooh,
I know you're going to disagree with me on all these. I don't think Inner Circle is interesting at all. It is one of the most overrated albums ever. Who? This is such a boring album. I can't believe how
wow,
people like this.
this is terrible.
I like the drumming on this album.
Yeah.
It's got their signature sound. That's what I do like about Tame Impala. They're very heavy bass drumming sort of thing.
Mm.
But I feel like there's no particular bangers on this album. Like,
It's a bit of
are there
a.
bangers on this
I
album?
think you've got to be a
Oh,
fan to like really be a fan of the album, if you know what I mean. Not saying that I'm a huge Tame Impala fan at the moment, but I mean, I think
mm,
yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. For four, I've put the Slow Rush. It's the most recent release. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's bad. I don't think any of the albums are bad, but I just don't think it's.
mm-hmm.
I think it's still got the good sound, and I think it's pretty innovative. I just don't think it's really possessing what the other ones had. I've the the highlight songs would probably be Borderline, Posthumous Forgiveness, and Instant Destiny. I think they're all extremely valid songs. So there you go. Don't know too much about it. I haven't really looked into it, but as much as the others. But yeah, no. From my perspective, that's what's going on in the album. So okay, number
Yeah,
three. What have you got?
the Slow Rush. It's
Okay,
just
fair enough.
not. It's just not quite doing it. It's probably a little too calming. This album. It's not like the other albums where it's sort of like there's a bit of bite. It's just sort of it's a bit weak.
Mm,
It's a bit pussy. Kevin's just a middle-aged man now. He wears polo shirts. He reads the newspaper. It's just a sign of the times.
jeez. I think
Product of its time.
I still believe that he'll come back stronger than ever, but I don't know.
Okay.
Just my thoughts. I'm hoping. I might be having false hope here, but I think he's still got it in him. Number three, I put the Currents, or the Currents, whatever you want to call it. Bit of a controversial pick here, I think. Obviously, got the song that Tame Impala's recognised by internationally, which would be "The Less I Know, the Better."
Mhm.
I think that's probably contributes to why I don't like the album as much as the one and two that I've put, which is probably a bad excuse. But I don't know. I just think the amount that this album's talked about um, isn't really backed up by what it's got on it. I think because obviously it's like a great album in my opinion, but I just think it's over talked about, overhyped would be the word.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I think this is probably the best concept that the album or that Kevin's had for an album, I'd say. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably the most poppy as well, so that's probably a bit why it goes towards the bottom of the list. Uh,
Fair enough.
for my highlights, I put "Let It Happen." I think that's an amazing song, one of my favourites from Tame Impala. Disciples and Different Person, Same Old Mistakes. The other two that I've put.
New person. Sarah was
What? Oh, got it.
new person.
Jeez, I don't even know the name. Jeez, this is
That's
bad.
actually my favorite song from the album,
There
so
you go.
that's why I'm correcting you.
Okay, right,
But
fair
we'll
enough.
talk about it when we
I
get
think,
onto
yeah,
this.
I think "Let It Happen's" a very valid song though. 7 minutes long, so it could have been 4 minutes, and it probably would have had more playtime, I reckon. But I'm personally, I don't mind if it's 7 minutes or if it's 20 minutes, if you know what I mean.
Fair enough.
So yeah, number
On
two,
to
what have you
two.
put?
Uh, I've got Lonerism.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Oh, actually, no. Never mind. I did my head for the wrong reason. Okay.
Is
What?
Lonerism your number two? Or
No. My number two is Inner Speaker.
okay, well, for Lonerism for me, it sounds a little bit more poppy than in a speaker, but still obviously very experimental and
Hmm.
psychedelic and shit. But I do think it works better than in a speaker. I feel like it's more listenable. Like you can sort of relax and listen to it
Hmm.
a little bit more.
Do you think that
I think it
comes?
suffers.
Do you think that comes down to the pop aspect, where it's more listenable? You're not like
Yeah.
trying to, what's the word? Like process what's going on in the song.
Yeah. I think it's fair enough. I don't listen to songs to sort of study them like a fucking professor. I come to songs to enjoy them, and that's why I think Lonerism is pretty good. It's the songs could drag on at times still, but I feel like it's still a decent album. Our worst song is Music to Walk Home by, and the best song is Elephant, which carries the album a little bit. I
You
love
really?
Elephant.
I think Music to Walk Home by is not even that bad. I don't mind it.
I think there's a necessarily bad song on these albums, on this album, on
Yeah.
this top two, but
Hmm.
I think uh,
Just not as good as the
Elephant
others.
carries.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it when I get to it. Two I've put in a speaker. I just think I'm probably it's compared to the currents, it's definitely a completely different album in that respect. It's the first release from Tame Impala, like the project Tame Impala. He's obviously done things before it for other people and whatnot, but this is his first official release under Tame Impala. I think it was for the time, it was like a very valid uh, like album. It could have like 2010, I think it was. Uh, it's quite raw in some parts. I think it's
Hmm.
yeah. I'm a bit of a fan of the album, honestly. Like so,
Bit of a fan.
bit of a fan. That probably didn't sound too enthusiastic. I'm quite a fan of the album. Uh, made it into a TFL TikTok, so you never know. Might have another 100 million streams in the
Well,
next
wait,
couple of
how
days.
did it make it into the TFL TikTok?
So
How did it?
it was in the unpopular video, the recent one.
Was
So it
it?
was better than the currents. So I've stayed consistent to that.
Ah, fair enough. That
Um,
is true.
the highlights of this album for me, it's not meant to be, Alter Ego, and I really don't mind. So I don't really mind rather. So yeah, I think Alter Ego especially. That's probably my favorite. I think it's got a really good uh, tone to
Yep.
it. So there you go.
I think I put my favorite down as Alter Ego as well. So
Yep, nice.
there you go.
So number one, obviously, we've only got one album each left. You've got the Currents, or Currents. I've got
Yep.
Lonerism. Do you want to explain your pick a bit more?
It's just I do like that it's more pop sounding.
Hmm.
Sort of when you have this sort of sound, I do enjoy it as a sort of more pop sounding thing. Yeah, it works. As an album, it's obviously got some classics. Yeah, it's safer sounding, and I do kind of enjoy it a little bit. So
Ooh, jeez.
yeah, and my favorite song is "New Person, Same Old Mistakes," which I said before,
Yeah.
and worst songs, "Past Life."
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so my favorite is Lonerism. Um, as you probably guessed by now.
Yes.
This is in my opinion this is Kevin's masterpiece. This is uh, I don't know what the word I was going to use there. It was going to be some fancy word. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's incredible album. It's really what Tame Impala is summed up in an album. I feel but you could argue the Currents is probably as well, but I think Lonerism is it's got my favorite song from Tame Impala, and it's also got like another top five, um,
What's that?
which it's not on the album, so I think it might be a B side, but I'm not sure. It's called Led
It's
Zeppelin.
not on the album.
It's Led no, well it is, but it's not on the. It's a
No,
B
it's not
side.
though.
Shush, 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 boy, shush.
It doesn't count,
It can.
Cal.
Oh, jeez. Oh, this is disgusting. Right. It's not on Spot. It's not even on Spotify, so I can't find it anyway. It's Led Zeppelin. It made a TikTok again, but yeah, that's a very eerie kind of song. So I like that.
Hmm.
Endorsed Toy. I also like. I don't know why I like it. I just like it. And obviously, Elephants, which is kind of the holy grail of Tame Impala. I think
Yeah,
do you not agree? I agree because
I think it's probably their best song.
I think it's their best
Uh,
song. I think without being too poppy, it's like it's a good mix of like kind of like psychedelic pop, if you know what I mean. So,
yep. Definitely.
and then of course the Wiggles covered it and just absolutely blew Tame Impala out of the water.
The Wheels were late.
Yeah, that's this week's discography ranking. We'll be sure to become more prepared for the next episode. But yeah, there was a bit of a
Yeah,
spur of the moment. We only really
Maybe,
decided what we're doing today. But
yeah, maybe I enjoy uh, Tame Impala a bit more when I don't have to listen to it sort of as a chore and with a time limit. So
yeah, fair
maybe
enough.
maybe if I listen to it more, I'll try. I'll try. But yeah, not
Yeah.
not too big of a fan of this this
I've got a bit of a feeling what's going to
project.
come next week for the discography.
I get to
So
choose, so
yeah,
get fucked.
yeah. Um, I, yeah. If my predictions are correct, I'd be assuming it'd probably be Led Zeppelin. But you
I'll think about it,
okay? Well,
but it's definitely a possibility.
you push for it this week, but I said no. It's my week. Let's do Tame Impala or Catfish in the Bottom. But I said no. We need time on this. So I put put Tame Impala, and you have hated me ever since. So there you go.
Yep.
A true,
You disgust me.
true love tale. That okay. So next we've got the new segment. It's a bit of a game, so this could be interesting for you.
Really?
It's the overrated or underrated game, where
I like that game.
I give you
Wow.
I give you a few topics, or a few products or whatever, and you
Music?
decide whether
Albums?
yep,
Anything. But
anything,
mostly music,
even a
right?
sport that's in there today.
Wow, fair
Wow,
enough.
jeez.
Okay.
So this okay, I should preface this. It's strictly overrated or underrated. There's no appropriately rated, on this. So you got
No.
no, you got to
Appropriately rated needs to be
no.
there, though.
There's no fence sitting. This is a fence sitting free
Yeah.
podcast.
Okay,
Right.
fine. I'll do
So
my best.
okay, I think I probably know what you're going to do for the first two. So,
Yep.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, overrated or underrated?
Oh, God, that's an appropriate rated one, though.
I don't
Oh,
think it is.
shit. I think it's underrated.
Whoa, no. Oh, jeez.
How am I supposed to? I
I
don't
think it's. I
like
think
this
it's.
album.
I
It's an
think it's
album I like. I can't just
extremely
say it's.
overrated. I think it's a good album. I just don't think it's a God Almighty Save Us from Kanye He's a Beast album. If you know what I mean.
It's a good album. You don't understand.
I don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh no.
I think
Right.
it's appropriately rated because
Appropriately
people see it as
rated.
a very solid album. Not don't people
I
don't see it as
I think that.
a masterpiece.
I think
Actually,
that.
they might.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Some
Right.
people do, but the critic consensus is that it's just a solid album, like a very good album. Like, no, I think it's good.
Okay.
Very good.
So you think underrated? I think overrated. Fair enough.
I think
First clash.
appropriately rated, but since
No,
the game
no.
doesn't allow for that,
This is not
fine.
part of
Underrated.
Oh,
Fine,
yeah,
fine.
underrated. You stick to that. Okay. Next, I've also almost got an answer for Tame Impala.
Overrated.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go overrated as well, just because I think they're appropriately rated. Kind of going on what you.
Oh, yeah. I thought we weren't allowed to have that, dickhead.
No, we're not allowed to. But I think they're overrated in terms of what I don't know. I feel like the less I know, the better. It doesn't really contribute to the whole argument of whether they're
I
overrated
don't
or
mind
underrated.
that song. I think it's a
I
good
don't mind.
song,
I think
but-
it's a good song. I just think it's overplayed as hell. It's kind of like the Wonderwall of Tame Impala, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think it's better than Wonderwall though. Fuck.
Wow, jeez, rough.
Hush on Wonderwall.
Okay. I'm gonna bot. I can't pronounce his name. Fantano opinions.
Anthony Fantano.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his opinions overrated or underrated.
I think that fuck. He gave My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy a 6, so it's overrated.
Whoa, jeez. I'm gonna go overrated as well, because I think people rely on him too much to
Yeah,
shape their
I'd
music
say that.
opinions. Because
Yeah.
although I agree with his My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy review and his redux or whatever it's called, I think his fans are a bit
Rabid.
a bit rabid, a bit too reliant on him. So they can't really shape a proper music opinion for their own.
Yep.
I still respect it, but he did slander Catfish on the bottom end, so I mean, I'm not having any of it now.
Enough.
Okay, The Wall, overrated or underrated?
Fuck. Underrated.
I'm gonna go underrated because, in the grand scheme of things, like on the whole music level, to like a normie listener, say a rap fan trying to get into rock, I don't think he might hear Another Brick in the Wall, but I don't think he's going to listen to The Wall, if you know what I mean. So in that respect, I feel like because you'd probably listen to Dark Side of the Moon before you'd listen to The Wall in full. Um,
Yeah.
I think in like that it definitely competes with Dark Side of the Moon in my opinion. I think it's probably one of the best movie sound, or not movie, like just one of the best soundtracks to something. In the last 40 years at least. It's older than 40 years. I'm stupid. The last 45 years we'll go. But yeah, I think I'll go underrated because I just don't think it gets enough respect. I think Another Brick in the Wall is overrated, but I think The Wall as a whole is underrated. So yeah. This isn't on the notes, but the Wall tour, overrated or underrated?
Overrated.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I probably agree because I don't think it's as good as everybody hypes it up to be.
Yeah, I don't think Pink Floyd live is actually that good.
I don't think it is. I'd just much rather see them do what Oasis did, or
People
like what
people
basically every
talk a
other
lot about
person on
it.
the planet did.
Yeah, people talk a lot about how Pink Floyd was such a amazing live band in their like prime, but it's not. People don't usually, remember it. I feel it's
I would,
kind of just
yeah,
it's just known, but it's not
they're an
really
album band.
specifically talked about. Yeah,
I'd much
good
rather
album
just
band.
see them do what Oasis and basically every other band has done, and just go out and on like a stadium and just perform without all the bravado
Mm.
and all the theatrics and whatever else. So
Mm.
just my take, but that's another part of the like Pink Floyd like kind of uh, thing. Like they got to perform it as an album. They can't just take little songs and go with it there and whatnot. So
Yep.
um,
Next,
Noel Gallagher is a songwriter. Overrated or underrated?
I think underrated.
Obviously I'm going underrated. I'm going underrated because I think well, if you've looked at my TikTok comments, you would you would see the disrespect that he gets from non-Oasis fans. So I
He's
mean,
very harsh.
I don't think that like people don't rate him at all. Like I think he's written. Oh, he's right. Again, I don't know what the right English should be. I think he's wrote some of the written. I think he's written some of the best. No, I think he wrote some of the best songs of all time. Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger, Champagne Supernova, or that
Fair
lot
enough.
again. And obviously one of the, in my opinion, the best albums of all time, in Morning Glory and definitely Maybe. But I think when you write them like alone without a band, I think that deserves some recognition, and I don't think he's got what he deserves for what he's done. If you know what I mean. That sounds a bit slandery, but no,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm singing in praises. So, okay, do you have anything to elaborate on that, or just underrated?
No, I don't have anything to elaborate.
Okay, fair enough. The One of These Days podcast, underrated or overrated?
Really underrated. We don't have many listeners anymore.
No,
It's
yeah,
it's kind of depressing if
it's spiraled into irrelevancy.
if my microphone.
Oh, no, jeez, he's gone. He's gone, boys. Hang on. Sorry about that technical difficulty, everybody. Bit of a malfunction. So, okay.
Yes.
As you were
Yes.
saying,
It's underrated. Our
underrated.
podcast. It's
Yep.
your favorite album, which is last episode. Sorry, not album. Episode.
Episode.
Was
Jeez,
your favorite last favorite?
it was,
Yeah.
and yeah, for the disrespect, that was a great episode. I thought.
Only 9 starts.
Only 9
Disappointing.
starts. Yeah, jeez, irrelevant. It might have something to do with the whole thing that it was 2 hours long, but
Relevant. Yeah.
you know, we mosey on. Anyway, I'm intrigued to hear this one. Overrated or underrated? Nirvana.
Underrated.
You reckon?
I don't think they're overrated because I like them.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
tough,
okay.
man.
Try put your bias aside, which is a terrible thing to say, but try put your bias aside. Overrated or underrated?
Underrated.
I think chronically overrated. I think
Ugh.
This is probably gonna be part of the next segment anyway. But actually, okay, I'm not. I'll save it for the next segment. But I think overrated because yeah. I think they were revolutionary, but I don't think they were like as revolutionary as people say, because I feel like there are another three big grunge bands that could have like really supported the grunge movement. So that's all I say
Yeah.
on that. But yeah,
It's
overrated for me.
it's 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 about how influential it is, I think. It's a very influential
It's a very influential question.
band.
Band, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
last underrated or overrated, before we can continue talking about Nirvana. Rugby,
Mhm.
overrated or underrated?
Overrated. I don't get it really.
Jeez, I think rugby is an underrated sport.
I think American football's underrated in Australia. I think it's good.
Ugh, no, American sport is like most people praise it. I don't get the hype. I mean the leagues, that is.
They probably say the same for us, to be honest. So
Yeah, well, I don't know. It might be pretty praising of our troopers in the AFL,
mm,
especially
yeah.
young gun Clayton Oliver, uh, future
Okay.
Brownlow medalist, maybe, possibly, hopefully. Anyway, okay, swiftly moving on. Uh, Returning segment again. What's new? We've gone for music's biggest what ifs, part two.
Oh, we've got another one.
We've got
Okay,
another
I
one.
didn't expect this.
I haven't got that many questions this time. I've halved it. I've got three, but
Yep.
I think they're very talkable questions. I'll save the most.
Yep.
I'll go probably least to most expansive ones. So,
Mhm.
uh, what if John Bonham had never died?
Ah, jeez.
This is your question because
They obviously would
I
have
have no
kept.
idea.
Obviously would have kept going. They were heading. They were on a rough spiral, downward spiral there. Led Zeppelin
Hmm.
for a little bit. Their last album, two last albums were pretty crappy. So I feel like it's probably. I wish he didn't die, obviously, but it's probably a good thing the band ended at the time it did because
Hmm.
they were on a downward spiral.
Bit of a uh, like a bit of a saving grace, really.
Well, if after 1980,
It's
John Bonham stopped being a fucking alcoholic, Robert Plant stopped being depressed over his dead son, and Jimmy Page stopped getting hooked on the heroin, it might have actually worked out. But unfortunately, they were on a downward spiral.
Would you say you are happy where it ended because, or would you say you're more um, intrigued on what could have happened? Could have
I
happened if
was
it
I would
didn't.
be intrigued. I feel like um you always want to. It's happened. It happened. All their good albums happened. Like if they
Yeah.
released 10 shit albums, it probably wouldn't affect how I feel. But yeah, it would have been interesting to see what happened.
Do you think they probably? Do you reckon they could have released an album that cracked the top three if he hadn't have died, like post 1980?
Well, yeah, I said it depended if they
Okay,
turn their
say they got
lives
everything.
around.
Say they got everything together. Say they were back in 1975, but everything had already been produced.
Yep,
Do you reckon they could have mustered something?
absolutely.
Yep.
There's actually a few good songs on their last few albums.
Like, what would those albums be? I probably haven't listened to them.
Uh, well, if we get them up here, for starters, uh, Achilles' Last Stand is a very good song.
Hmm.
Um, uh, what's the name of this one? I forget the names, but not very they're not very memorable.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
yeah, right, okay.
In the Evening's a good song from In Through the Outdoor. All My Love from In Through the Outdoor is good. There's probably Fool in the Rain. All My Love, Fool in the Rain, and In the Evening, good from In Through the Outdoor.
Yep.
From Presence, Kelly's Last Stand is good. Uh, uh, what else is good? Off probably the only good song on Presence, but it's a very good song, Achilles'
Hmm.
Last Stand. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There's still some solid songs, especially
Mhm.
on their last album.
So personally, I don't think they would have been able to crack a top three album if they were in the scenario that we just made out. Because I don't think anything would have topped the four that I've got top four. Another controversial TFCal opinion: Zeppelin four, not top three. Um, yeah, but when I was looking for this question, or when I was looking for questions, I saw an interesting reply to this. if Bonham hadn't have died, Page probably would have. Do you agree with that?
Oh, probably actually. That's fair enough. Actually, where'd you hear that?
It was on a forum. I found these questions on a forum, and that was just one of the replies to this question. So I think that that really kind of put the Zeppelin was doomed thing. So
Fair enough.
what was the kind of story towards the end of Zeppelin? I've kind of missed this part. What like went
So
down?
basically, John Bonham died from alcohol related. He spewed while in bed, and he
No,
choked on his vomit. Basically,
fair enough.
that's how he died.
Yeah,
I don't know
fair
what the
enough.
technical term is.
Yes, right.
Yeah, and basically at the end, Jimmy Page was addicted to heroin.
hmm
John Bonham was an alcoholic. Then John Bonham died, and they just didn't think that they could go on without John Bonham, so they broke up.
I mean, fair enough. I don't think a band should really continue going without original members, or not to
Yeah.
discredit anybody in bands or anything, but like without essential members, where I think
Mm.
he probably would have been because he was very influential on the sound. In a different scenario, let's say John Paul Jones died instead of John Bonham. Do you reckon Zeppelin could have kept going?
Probably not.
So do
I
you
feel
think?
like they would
So
have done it for
if
any member.
yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay, so I think that's a good summary of that question.
Yes.
So my next question, kind of going back to the Nirvana thing, what if Nirvana never existed? Would grunge be what it was?
Probably not as mainstream, and a lot of fans probably influenced by them. So yeah, probably not.
Okay, yeah. So kind of contradicting my statement prior from the overrated or underrated part.
Mm.
I mean, Nirvana are clearly the face of grunge. Like Kurt Cobain, the clear standout of frontmen within grunge.
Hmm.
You could debate that, but it's really at the end of the day, it's his position.
Hmm.
I mean, he really made what it was. Would I be correct in saying he was the songwriter of Nirvana? Haven't really
Yeah.
looked into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, it smells like Teen Spirit. You're never going to get a bigger like alt rock song than that. I don't think.
Yeah.
That and it really defined the start of the '90s. So and it's still got an influence today. Obviously, there are the bands that like Smashing Pumpkins, Alice in Chains, and the other one that I don't remember
Yeah.
because I'm an avid Soundgarden or Audio Slave, one of them.
Soundgarden. Yeah.
Soundgarden, yeah. Obviously, I think they obviously would have existed, but I don't think they had what it was to contribute to making a genre. However, Nirvana, I think, had the songs had the swagger almost. What I
Swagger.
Not swagger, but like like the look and the uh, like they were everything that grunge was meant to be. I think.
Hmm.
That being
I,
said, I feel like Kurt Cobain dying was probably signaled the end to the grunge era, obviously, and that kind of led way in into other well to the rest of the '90s. Really, I feel like that's probably
yep.
music's greatest tragedy in terms of what could have been. We don't know. He could have, again, going back to last episode, we could have had another Nevermind 2, or we could have had. Because I feel like In
Yeah.
Utero, their last album was definitely like still a strong album. I feel like they were nowhere near being finished of what they
Yeah.
had to say. But yeah, I don't know. Apparently tensions were high towards the end, so I don't know if they would have even gone much longer if he hadn't have
Mm.
died. But
Yeah. I think that's about it
yeah. Okay,
for
now
me.
the big
Not that I've said much, but
the big question. And
yeah.
this one we can probably ramble about for about an hour, but I don't
Yeah,
think
we
we will
might,
do
might
this.
make this the last one because I'm actually personally excited for the next segment,
Okay,
which
well that's convenient because
uh,
this is the last question we've got.
okay, good.
Well, what if the Beatles never existed?
Uh,
Now we've okay,
oof,
well, okay,
probably
well, more to the point,
everything.
what would music look like today if the Beatles didn't exist?
Well,
Because
we just have to think about things that were inspired by the Beatles. There were so
well,
many
well,
bands that just took little inspirations, which can all lead up to big things. So, You
Well,
know,
yeah. Well, I mean, for a start, Nirvana wouldn't have existed because Kurt Cobain
mm,
heavily influenced by the Beatles. Oasis
yeah,
wouldn't have existed, also heavily influenced by the Beatles.
yeah, just
Pink,
everything.
even Pink Floyd might not have been what they were because they were also, surprisingly enough, influenced by the Beatles.
And even myself,
My
when I started
yourself,
really heavily listening to music, the Beatles were like a big thing that would have
mm,
inspired me to even start playing guitar. So even like, especially in my life, there would have been a big change. I probably wouldn't even be playing guitar right now.
wow,
Yeah,
inspirational. I think
yeah.
it's
What
summed up
about
pretty
you?
well in the movie Yesterday. That if you,
Mm,
not to spoil, so I'm going to put a spoiler alert here. If you haven't seen the movie, it's basically about a bloke who uh, is living in his own world, really, because everybody else forgets,
mm,
but two people in the end forget
yeah.
what the Beatles are, or they don't know, or the Beatles never existed, really.
Mm,
But he remembers all their songs, and he goes around the world, blows up off the Beatles songs. And yeah, so it kind of gives you a bit of a perspective of what the world would be like without the Beatles. Although I didn't think it really did justice to
yeah.
what music would be, because I kind of think that there, despite the Beatles not being there, I still feel like Ed Sheeran as well. I feel like his style, he played a big part in the movie. I feel like his style wouldn't have been like invented, or not invented maybe, but it wouldn't be mainstream, and it wouldn't be Ed Sheeran. He wouldn't play like he
Mm.
played today if the Beatles didn't exist, I don't think.
Yeah,
So,
it
I
would have
mean,
changed a lot, and I feel like
they
the movie didn't do it any sort of justice.
I don't think it really did, but it raised the question what it would have been like, really, without the Beatles, which it was obviously still a question before, but I feel like it just put
Yeah.
emphasis on it. Um, I think, yeah, it's kind of like, because everything in modern music and everything like that's happened in the last 50 years, really, has stemmed back to
Mm.
the Beatles, because
Yeah.
before were really the change, like the turning point in music. Like, there's no debating that they changed music forever.
Yeah.
And it's there's never going to be a band bigger than the Beatles. And if there
Mhm.
is, then it's just it'd almost be a tragedy for music, I reckon, because I don't like. I could be completely wrong here, but I don't think uh, like well, I don't know how to say this, but I think the Beatles changed music for the better. I feel like if this happened um, now, then I feel like it would just completely ruin it. But then imagine me sitting here 70 years ago saying, if bloody Hank Williams uh, hadn't have existed, uh, then if there's anybody bigger than him, then oh boy, there's a catastrophe on the way. So so
Yeah, Hank Williams.
yeah, yeah, well,
Unbelievable.
I don't know, someone like that, some
Anyway.
country singer. But yeah, I think it's a really scary sight if the Beatles hadn't existed, because
Mm.
it's more it goes outside of music as well, because it could be raised the question what world events would have happened uh, if the Beatles hadn't have existed. Like, because I feel like a lot happened there. John Lennon, for a start, wouldn't have been assassinated. You'd only assume
Yeah.
could have
Yeah.
been, but would be very unlikely.
Uh,
So
you know,
could have been.
What the Skelter, all that.
I mean, yeah, could make the case for Black Sabbath, but I think they probably had Beatle influence as well. I think they've admitted that.
Just
But I,
imagine all like there's so many things about
yeah,
like
like,
Charles
okay,
Manson and stuff that wouldn't have happened at all because obviously he didn't have the song. So,
yeah, yeah. Well,
all everything that stems from any sort of thing about the Beatles just never happened. So, yeah.
like it's again, it's a terrifying sight if the Beatles didn't exist, because I'm happy how music's played out uh, in the past. So I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? We could have had a much more influential, or not, well, yeah, we could have had a more influential and a more revolutionary band. We don't know, but personally, I think this is probably the best possible scenario that could have happened. I feel like the Beatles kind of uh, they were really what music needed at the time, uh, which was really a savior.
Yeah.
I think even I'm not promoting drugs here, but I'm saying like even when they used drugs, that kind of helped music in its own way.
What
Because
if LSD didn't exist?
what if LSD? Jeez, that would have been. Jeez, would Tame Impala exist? There you go. Ooh,
Oh wow.
ooh.
Yeah, I feel like we're probably talking in circles
We,
here.
we are, but
Sound like a broken record. It'll be a horrible thing.
it would be a horrible
Uh,
thing. It would be
Long
terrifying.
story short, TLDR,
Nobody we like would exist. So yeah.
pretty much.
Anyway, the next segment that
Yes,
Mr. Tungib is very excited about.
yes.
I
It's the
interviewed him last
TFL
week.
interview.
Yeah, I interviewed him last week. So this week he's been allowed to interview me back, and I'm going to
Yes.
take it like an asshole. That
Yeah.
sounded bad. Cut that.
Take it up
Jeez.
the arsehole, maybe. Ooh.
No,
Uh,
I'm
uh,
going to be a flog about this. So okay,
okay,
ask
so
away.
how did your endeavors online sort of start for
My
the
endeavors
fans? I
online.
know.
What do you mean my
On
endeavors
social
online?
media. Well, hint, hint. I'll be talking about Twitch and YouTube.
Oh, God,
So,
no.
explain a bit about how you started out.
How I started out on YouTube. I started watching YouTube for AFL card openings. I used to
Yeah.
obsess over them. I was a bit of an AFL nut back in the day, kind of what like Jack Tungib is now.
You're still a bit of an AFL nut today.
Ah,
Jeez.
jeez, flattering. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a bit of an AFL nut, so I just watched the same videos and card openings on repeat back in like 2012 or something. It was my life. I'd obsess over Jeremy Howe marks and whatnot. Um, that was probably the beginning of the internet for me. Listening to Fireflies on my iPod and watching Melbourne get flogged every week, and hoping that one day we'd be in the situation that is happening today. So that was the start.
Yep.
Then progressing on a bit further, maybe a year or two, kind of discovered what Minecraft was, and that's kind of where the gaming part picks up. I got
Gamer, yes.
I got, I
TFL the
got
gamer.
the
Let's go.
gamer. I got kind of into Minecraft. I'm not proud of being a gamer. I should say that. I'm sorry if you're a gamer,
Wow.
but I don't like FIFA's alright. I think I like FIFA. Playing that a bit with Tungib at the moment, but
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. I don't dislike it, but yeah. Anyway, back on track. I started watching Minecraft YouTubers. Stampy Longnose being the notable one. I used to
Mm.
much like AFL. That kind of got pushed to the side a bit, and then I just kind of obsessed over that
Jeez.
for a while, and then
Rest in peace, AFL.
rest in peace AFL, my man. And then 24-15 was probably the turning point that shaped my personality up until about probably 2 years, a couple of years ago.
Mm.
I got into rap music, or not rap, or like the popular music.
Rap music.
Not
Wow.
rap music, popular music. But that was mainly rap at the time. Uh,
Yeah.
that's kind of where it all started, and NBA. So they kind of go hand in hand in a way, because I feel like you see a lot of mixtapes on YouTube with like all the rap songs, and that's another part of YouTube that I kind of started influencing the way I started YouTube, which we'll get onto later,
Yep.
hopefully. So that probably lasted about 15, 16. It was just a bunch of Panda by Designer and Stephen Curry highlights. I watched,
Carry hearts. Yeah.
yeah, I was obsessed with NBA. And then I started playing basketball at that time, so that probably didn't help the fact. So yeah, and then 2017 is when my channel that I use today, not upload on, thankfully.
Mm.
That's when that kind of kicked off. I got a laptop for Christmas, so that kind of opened the gateway to letting me make YouTube videos. They were terrible
Yep.
videos, so don't watch them
Jeez,
if you
harsh.
can
They were
find
good,
them.
mate. Sure, yeah. What's it called? TFL? Just on
Yeah,
YouTube?
yeah. I no,
Link in the channels, featured channels on the YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube. Listening, I guess. There's not much to see.
Right, yeah.
Next question potentially.
No. We're still
Anything
going. We're
else?
still going.
No. Oh yeah, we are still going. This has got a fair bit to go.
What was the initial question? I've forgotten.
How did you start out on social
Oh yeah.
media?
Oh god, I probably could have just
Tell us
answered.
a little bit about Twitch, please.
Okay, Twitch. So skipping forward a couple of years, 2018 was when I made my Twitch debut. Probably about June
Great moment
2018.
in history.
On a 180p stream. It was quite a sight. I played Fortnite.
Yep, Fortnite.
Obviously, the game of the times. And yeah, that was kind of the start of my Twitch thing. I did it pretty inconsistently in 2018. I was never really a consistent Twitch streamer, to be fair, but 2018 was kind of just every now and then, because it was just kind of like, because like I was idolized like TSM Daquan and all the Fortnite boys. So yeah, that's kind of what got me into streaming on Twitch in particular. I didn't know what Twitch was before then. I don't think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
2019.
I did, but I never used it until Fortnite came along.
Yeah.
Actually,
No?
we'll save. Don't talk about TikTok yet, but
Okay.
if you want anything more to say about Twitch, then please
Well,
continue.
2019 was when I really became like a Twitch normie, you could
Yeah,
say.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was when I used to stream Fortnite, a lot of Fortnite, and it was pretty cringe. So,
You like Fortnite?
yeah, I don't know. That was
You did like Fortnite.
I liked Fortnite. I was convinced I was going to be a Twitch streamer for my career. I've since given up on
Now
that.
he's going to be a famous TikToker and
Yeah,
podcaster.
famous TikToker and podcaster and band member if we ever do anything.
Yeah. Oh, we better get started on that.
Yeah. Then 2020, the COVID, everything. I thought it was going to be my big year of breakouts, and I kind of did nothing. A bit of G, I guess, a hero there, and
Favorite topic of streaming for TikTok.
yeah, and then slowly wrapping up into 2021. I think I've streamed in about 6 months, so that's good. I did have a thought today that we could maybe record a live podcast. So, because we kind of do, we kind of do this in one take anyway. So I mean,
Yeah, sweet.
As long as you can censor yourself for an episode, that'll be.
As long as I don't say that word, we're fine.
That renowned word.
Yasler.
Oh, jeez. Okay, next question.
Well, I'm not saying questions in particular any order, but we might give a bit of a break from the TFCal supervillain origin story.
Jeez,
we'll go. Will you ever stream on Twitch again?
Um.
Not podcast related.
Maybe I might do a bit of guitar on there. Who knows?
What about gaming, man? What about gaming?
I don't play any games. Though. I play FIFA with you, and that's about all I play.
Name some FIFA Pro Clubs when FIFA 22 comes out. If you get FIFA
22 is out.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, we need to buy FIFA 22, don't we?
I've got Game Pass Ultimate. I think you get it for free, which comes with the EA Access Pass. Let's not talk about FIFA 22.
You definitely don't. Anyway. Right, so, yeah, I don't really play games anymore. I play the rare Fortnite game with you, and then I play...
Yeah, but
I only really play games
with
you. Yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
So...
well, that's because I've kind of fucked up everything, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, fair enough, but... yeah, well, Twitch stream, short answer, probably not for a long time, at least. The answer the fans
I'll
want...
have to do some convincing.
Probably not for a while. Yeah, well... Try your best. Probably won't get anywhere, but you know, you never know.
Okay.
I'm going to be a Noel Gallagher. Never say never, but I'm going to say never. There you go.
Oof.
Crushing.
Okay. How did your TikTok account start out? We'll do that.
Okay. I remember it was late 2019. I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Some anonymous friends of the podcast. Were like, oh my god, you don't use TikTok? Oh my god, you don't use TikTok?
Good.
And I'm like, no, I do not use TikTok because I'm not. I used Musical.ly before, but I kind of because I thought that was a bit of a phase, and then I just kind of like swiftly got off that. Then I kind of forgot it existed until about that time period, and then I got convinced to get back on TikTok, and do TikToks. So
Hmm.
me being the incredible friend that I am, did TikToks. I got a TikTok and it went nowhere for about 6 months. Because it wasn't really orientated content. It was just me doing TikTok like how it was meant to be done. Um, but trendy topics and whatnot. So that didn't really go anywhere. Probably got 100 likes in total, which would be a travesty to me today. Anyway, they're gone. They're not in existence anymore. So thank God.
Yeah. Extinct.
Then, jeez, do I have to say this on the podcast?
Yes, please
Oh,
do.
jeez. And then Kobe Bryant unfortunately passed away at the start of
This is
last year.
pretty. This is kind of
And then
weird. This
a
one.
month
Yeah.
later, not even when he died, a month later, I uploaded a little tribute that I uh, made of him, and that kind of had a few likes, and then I was accused of milking his death for likes, which kind of disheartened me a bit. But no,
Is it
but
true though?
it's
Was it
not.
true though?
Well, it wasn't. I
I've
did
got the
one for.
TikTok. It's still up. It's Cal's first ever video. The
Ah,
public
do,
video.
do I have to? Do I have to take this down? I'll take it down.
No, 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 don't you to. I'm saving it. It means I'm
Oh
saving it.
no.
Uh,
Anyway,
yeah. Well,
that was 20. I got
let's read some of the comments on
25,000
this.
views. 25,000 views, and that
Reading
was
the comments.
that was like life changing at the time for me. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, well,
Um,
this is what Fergo Hamish just said. Life got slam dunked.
oh,
On,
oh.
on
Okay, well we're gonna have to blur that out because we
No,
can
no,
blur,
no, no, no.
no, we
That's
can blur the
fine.
name out.
And then Snatchy Josie says, "Oh my God, Cal, you're famous."
Yeah,
On a
not
very
proud, not
serious
proud, not
video.
proud, not proud.
I remember for a long time your TikTok description was one hit wonder
Yeah,
because
well,
of this video.
oh jeez, that's cringe.
The ex-editor wrote, "I'm crying. Cobra, Gianna, please come back. Can't stand a chance without you two." I don't know if that's being sarcastic or not, but yeah.
I feel like a lot of these weren't sarcastic, and it was a hard time. It was a tragedy.
I'm looking for a hate comment that says you're milking his death.
That was your comment. That was your
One
comment.
guy's just no. One guy's just posted 9 laugh reacts,
Yeah,
laugh
yeah.
emojis.
I thought he was a
One guy
clown.
posted 5 cool guy emojis.
Oh, jeez.
This guy's my inspiration for basketball practice, and I always think of him. Yeah, this is a throwback. Nearly 3 years.
Three?
Approaching 3 years.
Can you count?
Yes, it's nearly. Well, it's already been
Nearly 2
2
years.
years. Approaching 2 years.
Three.
Sorry.
I think you jumped the gun a bit in 3 years.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Yeah, can't
Why's
count.
everyone spelled him KOBR? One guy says RIP Cobra Rip. I didn't accuse you of being a likes whore.
I remember it.
I just
I
said
remember
Cal's
it.
owes his fame to Kobe
Oh,
Bryant's
yeah.
death,
That's the same thing.
and it used to be.
It's not
fame.
even. I've expanded from that.
What's
I'm.
3 times the boys cried?
Oh, it leads me on to my next TikTok. This is where the part where I could realize I could get 1,000 views, and it only got like 50 likes or something. So
Yeah, what the heck? You
it's-
have 1,527 views, but 50 likes.
yeah, that was.
Is that even possible?
I thought that was very good at the time, but in retrospect, it was horrible.
Who is
So
it? Tyler the Creator falls over a bench. MGK falls over a car. Goz loses big brother.
it was
No,
meant to.
not
It was meant to
Goz.
be a very sarcastic video, but apparently people didn't take it that way. So
Well,
it was
people didn't take it at all because they didn't
no,
like it or anything.
no,
So
mate. 50
3
people.
Machine Gun Kelly songs.
Okay, this was during my Machine Gun Kelly phase. If you didn't guess, towards the end,
Yeah, this is
before
pre-Oasis.
before Oasis began. It was kind of during. It was the transition
It's
period.
PO pre-Oasis.
Pre.
Try telling me anyone is better. Oasis. This is the first one.
Yeah.
It's
I
started
uploaded that at
everything.
like 5 a.m. And yeah. I just saw the views go up and up and up, and I was like, "Oh my god, I've made it!" And it has like 1,000 views, and I was so impressed.
Yeah,
But,
one guy
yeah.
says Stone Roses. Try telling me anyone's better. And did that start you with Stone Roses?
No, I was reluctant to listen to them.
Oh, and I commented about 200 other bands.
Yeah, that's slander, mate. Slander. Jeez. Do you?
One guy wrote Led Zeppelin, which I'm gonna like.
Jeez. bit late to the
No,
party on
notice
that
how
one.
no one's even commented a suggestion because it would be pointless.
Yeah, that was before everybody commented the suggestions because it was up for 5 minutes.
Jeez.
Um,
Yeah,
do,
well,
can I reverse a question here?
hmm.
Do you take back that comment?
Maybe only 150
Okay,
now.
okay, it's all right. I'll take that. That is
Yeah.
no,
Now
right?
you've ranked Oasis albums worst to best.
Yeah.
Has your thing changed since then?
Yes, I did a re-ranking of it.
You spelled definitely maybe wrong,
Yeah,
so
I know.
fake fan.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and
This
that's
is.
just your review. I mean, so what's the story?
Can I just tell the rest of the story? This is getting very
Yes,
strenuous.
sorry,
Right.
we're just looking at your TikToks now. This is
So
historic though.
this
It's
is
a
it's not
primary
historic.
source.
This was like
The
6 months ago.
primary
This is
source.
not good. This is not
Yeah,
good.
but 6 months is a long time in the context of these things. But you keep
Right.
talking.
Okay. So anyway, so after Kobe, I kind of had a dry spell. I then went. Um, I realized I could make music TikToks, and they kind of spawned an audience a little bit.
Took you a while though. Took you a while.
Took me a while. Took
You
me
got there.
about
Yeah.
half a year.
TFK
But
with
got there.
444 views on the top Spotify songs of May
Yeah,
2021.
that was a stinker. Like I had my ups and downs, and then I finally cracked the code. It was ranking when I ranked Oasis albums. That got a consistent amount of likes, I reckon.
Now
Uh,
you've got 250,000 views on one. So,
I got
yeah.
350,000 views on one. Um,
Jeez.
well, not 350. That's a bit of an exagger. But
Hey, when do you reckon you're gonna get a million view one?
oh, I don't know, mate. Don't think that'll happen anytime soon with
I
my
reckon it could.
my
It
brand.
could. If I give you some ideas to make, I reckon it could blow up, mate.
All
I
right, the
reckon I could
ideas.
give you some ideas. You're creatively bankrupt. I'll tell you after the podcast
Oh,
some ideas,
jeez,
but
this
you are
is
right now creatively bankrupt. Is that fair?
yeah, that is extremely fair. You could have told me that
Well,
when the podcast began. That would have been at
yeah.
the first one. That would have been accurate then.
We all know the story from there. You get a few
Yeah,
TikToks
got a
blow
few
up. What
TikToks.
ones are they?
I don't remember, but recently,
Well, we
recently I
can
say
always look.
probably like a month ago, or just over.
One that blew up was band's least first most popular song.
Yeah, that was the big one. But before that, there
Wait,
was like
no.
a few
Before
days
that
before that,
was
there was
yeah. Sorry, it was a
actually.
while.
Actually,
A
I'll tell
while
you what
before
happened.
that.
It progressively got more and more because I think the first one that I'd consider blow up, besides the Kobe one,
No,
which
it was the one where it was "You guys think you're all better than me," which got 10,000 views. You guys
yeah,
think you're all so much
yeah,
better than me, which
I don't
got
know if it was
10,000.
I don't know if this one's before that or after it, but it was the unpopular music opinions. That
Yeah,
kind of
Oasis fan. Yes, 24.5 thousand views.
that
That
kind
was
yeah
probably the big
that
one.
was probably the start of the uphill slope. This sounds very
Then you got
egotistical.
one
I'm
that
not a big
was.
TikToker. I'm just a humble TikToker who makes TikToks.
You are a big TikToker.
I'm not even the
Do you mean
biggest.
big TikToker, like big in the context of the app, like,
No,
or do you mean you
I
go on
just
TikTok a lot?
what?
What do you mean by big?
I'm just a kid. I just I'm
Like
not
avid?
I'm just a humble TikTok creator.
You stay in your little corner.
I stay in my little
You
corner with
don't
my
stray
Oasis
too
fans.
far.
No,
Yeah,
I just
and then you've got
and
a
then
huge one.
and then no
Context of
no
things.
before that it was top three. My unpopular top threes, which
Yeah,
most people
that's
slander
what
for
I
not
was
being
gonna say.
for not being unpopular,
Yeah,
which
still 51,000 views. Speak for
that's
itself.
it's pretty decent even by my standards today, my arrogant standards.
Yeah,
And then obviously like a week later, the genius idea that I was sitting on for about 4 months came to me. Band's most versus least popular songs, which isn't that even that good of an idea,
I think it's okay.
but apparently
It's a bit.
apparently the
It can be a
people
bit
flocked in
controversial
massive.
what people consider.
Well,
Be ranked the least first most
it's
popular.
well no, it's not it's a fact. It's a fact. This is factual content.
Yeah, fair.
So
And
it's not
then is that your most highest
that's my highest.
views song?
That's my highest. But
Your
then
highest is band's least most
recently,
popular
it's the same
by
concept,
far.
but it's like part five, which is
Yeah,
nearly done as well. So there you go.
that's about it. That's up
That's
to what it is now. So
yeah.
there you go.
So sorry, that was a
Um,
painful answer, but I could have just said. I did a couple of TikToks and it blew up a little bit.
well, we're stretching out this. This might be the last one before we get to our favourite topic, which is
Jeez.
reading TFKL TikTok comments.
Yeah.
And when did you start
We've pretty
first?
much just done that. So I mean,
When did
getting
you first start
devolution.
listening to Oasis? I don't. We won't have a big answer here.
Okay.
Just give about a
Um,
time and how it
I'm going
happened.
to give you a little in-depth answer because
Okay, that's okay.
there's no right answer. I don't know the correct answer. I'd say probably about June 2020 or July 20, around that time. That's probably when I first. Or okay, that was when I first listened to them like as a band religiously. I knew Champagne Supernova for about. I'd known that for about probably 5 years, I reckon, at that point. Because funny story, I watched it on a AFL Best Marks 2014 list, and I
Yeah.
found out what Champagne Supernova was. I didn't make the connection; it was Oasis or anything, but yeah, I knew the song, and then somewhere last year I tacked on to Wonderwall, and then kind of just went from there. So yeah,
How long
probably
ago was
yeah,
this?
uh, about middle of last year, probably.
Fair. The good old
And
days.
they got all no terrible days, horrible days,
The horrible days. The good
horrible
old
days.
days were when you were getting your I think your TikToks were starting to blow up. This
No,
is post
that were terrible days as
blow
well
up.
because I was actually no, that was a good day because I was living in my own fantasy that I was a bit of an icon in the indie TikToking community.
A
I've since debunked that theory.
bit more down to earth now.
Yeah, a bit more. Yeah,
So the
yeah.
anything else?
Oh, no, this is your interview, mate. So
Yeah, yeah, I make the rules here. Um, so this is the last one, not related
okay,
much at all. But who's
all
your
right.
winner and margin for the AFL Grand Final?
The Western Bulldogs by 36 points.
Wow, Norm Smith prediction.
Uh, Bond.
Okay, well I'm gonna give my prediction. I think that if the Demons win, they win by 14 points.
Hmm.
Would that is that stressful enough for you if
That
they're
is
up by 14 with
That is
about 5 minutes to go?
I think anything less than like 50 with 5 minutes to go is stressful.
Yeah. If the Demons win, they win by about 14, which I'm predicting will happen. That's my official prediction. If the Demons win, then Norm Smith will go to Clayton Oliver.
I reckon Christian Petrarca will win it over Clary. I don't think Clary gets the
Mm,
recognition from the umpires compared
no,
to.
I feel like
I think
yeah, but the umpires don't decide the Norm Smith.
oh yeah, true. I just think
The voting
I think
committee
Petrarca's more of a medal winner,
noticeable,
if you know what I mean. Because I
noticeable,
feel like if he kicks goals, he'll win it. But if he doesn't,
maybe.
then
Big Mac's gone. Is a chance there as well. I
yeah.
reckon. If
Well,
it was
we don't.
Norm Smith last week, he obviously would have won. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, this is all theory. This is never going to happen because Melbourne get absolutely blown out of the water.
no,
Sadly
they're gonna
enough.
win. They're gonna win.
Well, don't say it. No, we're not. We're going to get flogged because
If the Bulldogs win, they win by 5. I feel
oh,
they win.
that'll
Would
be
that be? That'll
crushing.
be.
That would
Probably
be
just.
that would be
Oh
the
god,
worst day of my life.
I
That
can't
would
even
be
imagine. Hey, at least you made the grand final, mate.
no. That would be the end of the podcast and possibly. Oh, jeez, that is.
End of Cal's life.
Oh
Oh
no.
god.
That's a
For the
terrible.
sake of Cal's mental well-being, let's
Lose.
hope the Demons win.
Losing
For the
by
sake of this
5 points
podcast,
would be absolutely destroying. I would not
imagine
know what to
one
do with
point.
myself.
Bulldogs kick a goal
Oh,
after the siren, the first time ever in a grand final. Wouldn't that be
if there was
unbelievable?
a goal after the siren, for the Bulldogs, I might actually like. Oh, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna ghost everybody and leave. I'm just not Earth. I'm just gonna leave. Just gonna cut off all my connections and live a life of mystery in Kazakhstan. So.
Fair enough. Yeah, and if the Dogs win, my Norm Smith is Jack McRae.
Jeez.
Hmm.
Yeah, if Melbourne win, I'd say Petrarca for North Smith, but it all depends on how they actually play on the day, obviously. But I think he's probably going to be more prone to performing better than Clayton Oliver will. But just my thought. So yeah, who knows? It could be Bailey Fritsch kicking 8 or something.
Yeah.
I think Bailey Smith might be a bit of a underdog for the Norm Smith, honestly, because I think he'll be backed like top 3, but
Nah,
but
nah, nah.
I
Alex
think
Smith doesn't do shit like that, though.
well
I
if
feel.
if the Dogs win, then I think he'll probably have a good game, so I think he'll be up there for a chance. So
Yeah, all right. Well,
yeah.
I don't think
Point
Bronx
being,
players are going to win
if
if they lose.
God, I'm dwelling on the thought of losing by 5 now. That will be absolutely crushing.
Oh God,
Losing
God,
by under a goal would just that would destroy me.
it'll be devastating.
Losing by 7,
Devastating.
at least they were out by a bit, but still we were
What are
very
you
close.
What are your plans for grand final day, Cal? What are you going to do?
Have a nervous breakdown and then possibly just not watch the game because I'll be too
Watch it with
anxious.
your. Are you going to watch it with your family, or is that too hard for you?
No, they'll probably push me over the edge for anxiety because my brother's a Bulldogs fan, so I mean
Oh God, I
gonna be
couldn't do
wear and
that.
tear.
I couldn't. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
It's
That's
like
it for my questions.
yeah,
We'll go to our last segment.
okay.
Which is everyone's favorite segment that
Oh,
watches this show. Reading
right.
TikTok comments.
I don't think anybody
So
has made
on
it
your
this
most,
segment in history. But
let's let's not let's forget about that.
yeah,
So
I've come prepared this
uh,
week. I've even introduced a new part of this segment. So you go. I'll introduce it later.
okay. So for your most recent TikTok, which was 4 hours ago, let's read some of the comments.
Oh,
So
it's flopped horribly. So I mean,
Dickard Sodden says, "I know this stuff is subjective, but snap out of it." Wait, this is what is it? Underrated versus overrated? Oh no,
no,
best
it's
band songs by category.
yeah.
Yeah, I know this stuff is subjective, but snap out of it can't be your choice for best lyrics in an Arctic Monkeys song. And
Yes, it can be.
MSCJK just replies with "leave." And
Mm.
I don't know why these things are controversial. I don't
Yeah, well,
I didn't think people gave enough of a shit to care, but
Well,
yeah,
apparently TFL proves them wrong. Underdog.
yeah.
There you go.
And one guy says, "God, I love Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds." I don't know why he said
So do
NGHDB. Maybe it's a different band. Uh,
so do I.
Noel
I'm
Gallagher's
honestly, they're probably my
Are
favorite
Dying
band.
Birds?
High dying. Oh, jeez.
That's grim. That's probably the death metal version of the band. So
Fair enough. In the heat of the moment.
yeah.
Something like that. Sorry about that. That
And
was
one
strange.
guy just commented "Dire Straits space exclamation mark."
I don't know enough about Dire Straits to do anything, so
Fair enough.
I know like
A Dire
nothing
Straits
for
ranking
money and
coming up
salt
next
the
week.
swing.
Um,
No.
for am musically, Brian Storm overall. Are You Mine? And lyrically, I'm not sure. Maybe View from the Afternoon.
I can't be the only one that thought Brainstorm was Brainstorm.
Anyway,
Um,
on to this next TikTok. We'll do two more TikToks and then we'll
well, okay, I have.
get on to your part.
Let me read. Actually, no, just I'll keep my part, but I've got some comments here that I thought stood out.
Okay, Tame Impala's Less I Know the Better is a top, but it's become so overrated because of TikTok, which sucks. If it wasn't so
Yeah, I
overplayed, it'd
second
be a
that.
masterpiece. What the fuck you mean if it wasn't so overplayed?
Well,
I hate how people say songs being overplayed make them bad. Pisses me off, Cal.
no, well, it does, because you hear them so much that you just don't like the song anymore. I think it's a good
But
song.
listen to it then, mate. Jesus Christ.
No, well, I can't
Not
not
really
listen because
overrated. You just named the most popular songs and call them overrated.
I disagree because I didn't do that in part one, and then I got flamed for it. So I kind of stuck to the safer opinions in part two, and then I got flamed for it. So there's no
Most
winning.
popular
There's no winning when you TFL.
Wow, you're so edgy. What's next? You only listen to Oasis because they're underground?
My
Yes.
my reply was pretty good.
I only listen to Oasis because I love when frontmen fall out of helicopters.
Yeah.
And this guy just says, "I hate this account. Thanks." McFlynn06.
Well, okay, okay, right. That was incredibly influential on my next move.
Yeah, not a Tame Impala fan at all, but hate pointing out that they aren't a band. Tim Parker is seven men.
7 because there's about
Yeah,
7 instruments in
yeah,
every
and
song,
he plays them all.
and plays them all. There
Their
you go.
live stuff's a bit different. Yeah,
Yes,
this
well,
guy says most popular does not equal overrated. In this comment, which I think that's fair enough.
yeah, I agree, but apparently,
Safe.
I've made the
Yeah,
point
but who
that
got 1,871 likes and 10.3 thousand views? TFCal
was
did.
it me?
So
Oh,
shut the fuck
jeez,
up.
there you go.
Um,
Take a page out of my book.
yeah,
What?
London Loves is amazing in all cap.
Not bad, not bad.
Song two, but
Underrated.
can't stop are not overrated in any way.
What was the first one?
Popular. Song two and Can't Stop are not overrated in any way.
I mean, I feel like they are, but or song two
Jeez.
more, but just because it's plastered everywhere and you can hear it a lot.
I don't
And
have any
it's a
comments left.
it's a bad representation of what Blur is. Like I don't hate it. I think it's a catchy riff. It's
Jeez.
short and
Okay,
sharp.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Can't.
Led
Okay,
Zeppelin
right.
is a
There you
fantastic
go.
shout. What was your Led Zeppelin one?
No, it was the Tame song Led Zeppelin from Tame Impala.
Oh, no, I was gonna say I didn't remember seeing Led Zeppelin.
I can't put Led Zeppelin. I can't put the Beatles in my TikToks anymore because they mute.
Yeah, fair.
No, not fair.
Um,
Terrible. Democracy
no,
manifests.
it's fair that you can't add them anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be
Most
outrage.
underrated Liam Gallagher song is clearly Songbird, which isn't a fucking. No, it's not. Explain.
That was a humorous comment because it's an Oasis song, and he wrote it.
Yes.
But it's not
Is he
underrated
stupid?
because it's extremely played. So he was being
Yeah.
ironic. Right. Okay.
Is he
There you go.
being stupid because he doesn't
No,
know that Liam Gallagher is? It's a. You're talking about Liam Gallagher as a solo artist, or is he being IOQ big brain?
he's being high IQ big brain. I think.
Okay, we'll do a few more. We'll do
I'll
three
give him
more.
the benefit of the doubt.
Underrated for the Chili's should be either Wet Sand or Parallel Universe.
I don't think Wet Sand's underrated.
Yeah. Can't Stop
Tough
never
song.
fails to get me hyped. I
Okay.
do like Can't Stop. You're a bit of an asshole for doing that. Led
well,
Zeppelin isn't. Yes.
no. Well, when I look at songs that are overplayed by the Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Mhm.
there is really three or four candidates for the position, which would be Snow, but Snow being the lesser of the four, mainly because it's just the bloody guitar riff. Dun, 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 dun. Then there's Can't Stop, Californication, and Under the Bridge. And how I did this list was songs that I think are overrated because most of the songs I've listened to, I've put in this list, I've listened to a lot. So it's the ones that have aged better than others, in my opinion. Because I think Under the Bridge I still like. Californication's still one of my favourite songs ever. And Can't Stop just hasn't um, held the status that it once had. So there you go.
It's okay,
That's how
fair.
I did this list.
Two
So
more. Led Zeppelin is an awesome iTunes exclusive. How do you
there
feel?
you go. It should be on Spotify, honestly.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. The fact that that even exists, right, an exclusive, it pisses me off. Because if you want your music to be accessible to all people, like if you're a hippy dippy sort of artist, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't make deals like where something is an iTunes exclusive. That just feels like a bit of an asshole move, money making move from Kevin Parker to
Jeez.
allow that to happen. So
I
really
feel
does
like it
piss me
probably
off.
would have been more of a money making move if you didn't put it on iTunes. I think it's a money making move for Apple, not for.
No, because I feel like it was released only because you know, or no, because he's done the money making move because he's prevented it from being released on Spotify, and iTunes have clearly paid him to do that. So
Right.
it's a bit of a nice. Anyway, one more song, "Invisible Sun," most underrated.
No.
Is that from
Not overrated, but not underrated. I think it's appropriately
what?
rated. Invisible Sun.
What's "Invisible Sun"?
Liam Gallagher song, obviously.
Okay, you need to
No,
explain this.
it's all right. It's all right. It's not one of his better ones, but it's not terrible.
Yeah,
Right.
okay, fair
So
enough. Fair enough.
I've picked out literally a couple, um, comments. Not so much controversial ones, or controversial ones that I want you to give your opinion on.
Okay,
So,
okay.
you're definitely British. Am I British?
Not last time I checked. You're
Okay.
Australian
Okay.
or Asian. I don't know. I can't remember.
What? What? How am I? Okay. No. Okay. No. I see how it is. No. Okay.
Sorry.
I
Yeah.
don't. Right. Okay. Well, not sure of High Flying Birds being psychedelic. Do you agree or disagree? Are they a psychedelic band?
Sometimes they are.
I think they
The
are.
one I listened to was kind of psychedelic.
What they've released in the past 4 years has been psychedelic. So I mean, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say they're going in that direction. But
Direction they're going. Maybe they haven't listened to his latest album.
maybe they
Maybe they're.
haven't.
Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe they're living in 2011.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
so I mean, I'm gonna say he's probably listened to Who Built the Moon, but he's just not a believer. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's
Okay.
a moon truther. He doesn't believe in the moon.
Jeez,
It's
that's
a good
rough.
reference to all my Jack's films. Is out there.
Okay. This one was on my unpopular music opinions video, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, okay. Wasn't bad until the Damon one. In reference, I put Damon Albarn. I said he's one of the he's a modern day music genius. And then, okay, so do you agree with that statement or do you disagree with that statement?
Well, Gorillaz used to be my favorite band. Still one of my favorite bands.
Hmm.
So I'd say yes, but I don't know how you define a genius because I don't think anyone's really a genius. But
Gee, okay. Do you want to expand more on that?
I don't know. I just feel like using words like genius is kind of like a shitty thing. I don't think everyone has their flaws when it comes to music.
Okay, well,
You know?
what do you think Damon's flaw would be?
I don't know. Just
Hmm.
not including his own singing in his fucking songs. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, Mozart didn't put singing in his songs, and look where he's at.
No, but you know,
Do I?
it's a staple of his sound.
Right.
You
Okay.
know? And, all right, I can't say specific things. It's song by song sort of things. But
Yeah,
I feel like he's not perfect.
I mean, I feel like he's had two pretty successful bands, and I feel like both of them are quite well respected bands in terms of, um, like, just, I mean, in general, they're just quite respected bands. Gorilla's probably more
Yes.
so, and I think that's probably the more experimental band. So I feel like in that respect, he's quite uh, got a good knack on what he's doing. So
Yep.
I'd go as far to say genius, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Feel fair to disagree. Fair? God, I can't speak. Feel free to disagree, rather. Okay,
Yeah.
now the new part. That's just going to be a TFCal exclusive because you're not capable of such power. Is comment of the week. What da da? Where I pick a comment from the last week that I like or don't like or thought was interesting, and I share it with you, and then I give my opinion
Exciting.
on it. Now you've already spoilt this comment, so I was trying to get to it before you read it. But it was I hate this account. So
True. Very
I
true.
think it's an underrated comment. I think a lot of people
Hmm.
hate my account, and
Wow.
I,
You've got
I
some haters.
yeah I tend to agree. I'm not a huge fan of my account. I think he's got terrible opinions. I think he's a bit of a sellout. He does the same thing
Number
multiple
one
times a
TFCal
week.
hater.
Yeah, jeez. Jeez. That this is it's the lead up to being a genius or a legend. You gotta be your own hardest critic. But
True.
in this case,
Very true.
in this case, I don't think I am my hardest critic. But well, I don't think he's a
If
critic.
you haven't
He just
said
says I hate this
to
account.
delete
So
the account, or whatever you said, or I hate this account.
no, that's just bad
What's next?
motivation.
Delete this account.
Ah, well,
Would you delete your account if someone commented it?
probably. So
Yeah, Cal's very harsh
watch out. Yeah,
himself.
yeah. I'm a bit of a. Um, the only way you're going to get better is if you delete everything and you start from scratch. There you go. Inspirational.
Yeah, that is very inspirational.
It's incredibly influential and inspirational. So yes, do you have any other input on this segment?
I don't know. I think that's a very solid comment. Comment of the week.
Yeah,
So,
I now here's the issue with it. I don't know if I'd do it comment of the week or comment of the time between last podcasts because
I think you should do it.
we do two per podcast, two podcasts per
Okay,
week.
we can do it
So
exclusively on Mondays.
okay, it's a bit of a Monday special. You look forward to
It's a
it all
Monday
week.
special.
You're like,
Yeah, you do.
oh what, oh
Jeez, I can't wait
geez,
for Monday.
geez, what's it? Can't wait for Monday. What's the comment of the week going to be? God, I better not
This
go
is
to his
the only
account
thing
and
I
spoil
care
it.
about.
Oh, I might
Yeah,
have to
I
have a
don't
little
know.
comment on his account.
Well, but that might
Try and
deter
bait a
our
comment
big
of the week.
fans.
Yeah, our
It
huge
might
fan
deter
base.
our big fans.
Ah,
That could be quite distressing.
yeah, well, jeez, it's it's a interesting little concept whether it'll stick or not. But
The first weekly segment.
first weekly segment, we've done recurring segments
Yeah,
in the likes of the discography ranking and album review. We've done a returning segment that hasn't been here from the start in music's biggest what ifs, but but
yeah. Only last
but
episode
only a
started, didn't
weekly
it?
episode. Yeah, only the last episode. It's our
Well,
newborn.
there's not too many ideas we can have for music Guess what is? I'm not sure if that will be continuing after
Yeah,
today, but
yeah,
we'll
I
have to
don't know.
think.
I'm
Cal
gonna
will
have
have to do some
I'm
thinking.
gonna have to do some deep diving.
Yeah,
Given I write most of the script for this.
we do have most
Thanks
of our
everybody. I have
we have
creative
most of our
control.
vanilla ideas done.
Wow, jeez, I have creative control over this podcast, despite him uploading it and denying my artwork uh, after suggesting such
Can't
greatness
beat
as the
Roger
Roger
Gong.
Gong.
You
Yeah,
can't beat Roger Gong.
that was a bit of a stroke of genius for me that I now somewhat regret. God, I can't even speak.
Request.
how can I control a podcast if I can't even speak? Oh,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
disgusting. I should
this.
just do a solo Jack Tongue episode.
Well, I was like today before you got on, I was a bit nervous you weren't gonna show. So I'm just like, oh god, I think he's had a bit of a stinker here.
Yeah,
Might
I
have to
woke
do
up
a.
at like 12 today, so
Oh jeez,
it's been a rest and relaxation day for me.
jeez, and you left it to the last minute to listen to all the music. No, no, I
Yep, and I still produced one of my greatest performances ever. So, yeah.
yeah.
Angry Jack
There you
was
go.
out and about over Tame Impala, and
Just
your
gotta
music opinions on the album I suggested. Angry
gotta.
Jack was out and about on the album I suggested. Angry Jack was out and about on Tame Impala. It was it was an Angry Jack day today.
It was incredible. We're gonna have to. If this becomes a recurring thing, we might have to upload this to the YouTube channel clips.
Just make an Angry
Best
Jack
of Angry Jack.
segment. Angry Jack segment like Angry
Oh
Bev on the Bev show.
yeah, mate.
Pull your heads in.
Well, okay. Well,
Well, that's
now
what
that
I
you've
should
said it,
do.
do you have any rants or anything you want to get off your chest at the moment?
I feel like we should wait until next episode for
Okay,
Angry
yeah.
Jack.
Don't want to butcher it before it's even started.
What is it going to be strictly music or is it going to be things happening in the
No,
world
it
like footy and stuff?
can be anything. Just not don't do
Right.
politics because that
Not
can be
not political.
can
No,
be a
no,
bit
no.
of a stinker.
Or it's very. What if it's like very vanilla politics? Not like
Give me an
hardcore.
example.
Oh God.
Yeah, put him on the spot here. Make
What about just anything Joe Biden does? I feel like that's pretty universally. Actually, I don't get too angry over Joe Biden, so just kind of a meme. So
I
I don't
mean,
know. I'll think.
okay, we might have to discuss. You might, I say, if you have a political issue that you would like to rant about on the One of These Days podcast, you must.
Look and suggest if anyone ever wants to comment on the YouTube, which no one ever does, comment on the Instagram if you want to comment on the Instagram.
We can't even post
Give
on
us
the
some
Instagram.
ideas. Give
It's
us some
horrible.
ideas for albums to listen to, or discographies to rank. More importantly, give us some Angry Jack topics. Anything.
I don't think Angry Jack's gonna survive another Tame Impala discography ranking. So I think we might have to reach out to the fans for some
Yeah.
ideas. Which
Well,
I
I'm
feel
choosing my discography next week, so that'll be
right.
fun.
So be prepared for Led Zeppelin, everybody, because I feel like that's inevitable at this point. It's going to happen sooner.
I don't know.
It's going to happen. I feel like we should get it out the way
It
sooner
will.
rather than later. So,
Yeah, we actually probably should.
that it's just a wise moment, wise decision from your boy Cal23 on Xbox. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. Yeah, your boy Cal,
Yeah.
big fan.
Come play pro clubs with us. We're
If you're on
we're
FIFA
in
21,
dire need. Actually no, create your own club and versus, so we can actually have somebody to verse. It would
well, actually, the correct term is play. Verse isn't actually a word.
I don't like this side of Jack.
Angry Jack, pull your head in. It is play, not verse.
It's going to be an angry Cal in a minute when my grammar is corrected too often. It's gonna, yeah, jeez. God, imagine that angry Cal. That would be a terrifying
Wow,
sight.
we haven't experienced an angry Cal yet.
I'm a bit of a
I'll
calm,
experience you just moping about this
Yeah.
album you don't like.
yeah, I'm a bit of a calm-mannered I'm mild mannered. That's how I would describe myself. Don't think I get too wound up over anything really. Touch wood. That Jack can
Okay.
Jack can stab me in the
Maybe
back
next
here.
week.
Maybe next
Maybe
week.
next week.
Maybe, oh, jeez. Actually, no, it won't happen Thursday. Maybe next Monday. That'll. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There
might
might be an angry Cal.
Yeah, well, might not even be a podcast next Monday, depending on how it goes. But if it's
Imagine the scenes if they win. Imagine how happy you'll be.
oh mate, I will.
You'll be on a week-long bender, so you'll be in the middle of the bender while we're recording our two podcasts.
Yeah, I'll be fleeing to Mount Buller because I've been away from.
Celebrate with the boys in Mount Buller. Tommy Hawkins is in Mount Buller, so
Yeah,
it'll be
jeez.
fun.
Well, he's not taking his sense of fashion with him, obviously. because
That's.
he's put out the
I think he looked pretty
shorts.
sharp.
Oh,
He looks
jeez.
pretty sharp.
Nah, no, mate, nah. Put it away, I reckon. Yeah, well, didn't do him much good at the
Yeah.
Brownlow, did it?
No.
No. So, yeah, well,
Actually had a good night at the Brownlow though. A few votes.
yeah, well.
New York ones.
Who was the Smoky? Do you reckon in the end?
I thought, well, in terms of like the votes,
Hmm.
thought like I thought Luke Parker could have been able to do a Smoky.
What does
I
Smoky actually
think
mean? I feel like we've got different definitions of what
it means
Smoky is.
it's someone who might go under the radar and win.
Oh, right, yeah,
Someone
okay,
who's gone
no, yeah.
under the radar.
Um,
I think Luke Parker was a chance. He did play very well in a lot of the Swans games.
I had an
It's
answer, but then I've kind of forgotten what that answer was.
sorry, I've just bumped into
Um,
my guitar.
but I think there was the like surprise, to use a different term, on the actual night was David Mundy. He polled pretty well for his
Yeah, that was very solid.
what,
I
20,
feel like he,
20
yeah,
votes for his something, one of his last seasons. You'd assume, but
and
you never know. Could be playing forever. Looks like it at this
someone
stage.
who yeah, he's only 21, so someone who underperformed was Jack Steele. I think that's
Yeah, I was pretty
definitely.
disappointed by that. Actually,
Some of the
no.
people thought he was going to be favourite. I don't know why people.
Yeah,
He had a
no.
shocking start to the season.
And honestly, the votes didn't. His start of the season ended up being better than his end of the season, to be honest. So
Actually, yeah, sort of. I don't think it was very good. He was good in the middle, but yeah, obviously Cooper Grech on AFL News Trade Rumors results was unhappy at that.
yeah, just didn't get the job done in the end. Really,
You know who he hates?
Sam Walsh did very well in the
Sorry,
end.
I've bumped into my guitar again, but
Jeez.
this shambles at the end here. But no one's going to be listening at this point.
No,
So
if you're listening, DM me because you probably have my Snapchat.
yeah,
I'm a big fan
Team
of
up.
One of These Days podcast. Just type that because you obviously are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Saying something, but then I was
Yeah, I don't know.
distracted.
You slammed your guitar and it's all gone to just tear it on it.
Yeah. I forgot.
Right, he's forgotten. So that might be an appropriate time to wrap the
End
podcast
it.
up. You've lost limb control. You're smacking into everything you can.
Nearly at 2 hours. I think we go we ramble on a little bit. We're nearly at 2 hours here. So yeah, finished.
It's 12 in the morning. I didn't realise that was the time. Normally it would be about 10 o'clock by the time we finish these, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit late. A bit disorientated at the moment, mainly because of lack of
Disoriented.
sleep. Jeez,
Disorientated.
I'm not good with me
Further
English.
proving it. Further proving
I'm
it.
better at speaking other languages than I am English at this point, as far as I'm
French.
concerned. French. Extreme French speaker. Yes, I'm not going to give you a
Haven't.
demonstration because I'll embarrass myself. But yes, right. So anyway, do you have anything else you want to address or talk about before we wrap it up?
No, I have a good one, everybody. Make sure you do your sacks, kids. Do your assignments, boy, and
There you go. Wise
love
words.
you. I love you, man. I love my listeners, man. I love listeners to the podcast, man. And if you've made it this far, you're an absolute chad.
Wow, wise words from Mr. Tunga Bear. So yes, if you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. I know we both do. I don't know why you'd be listening this far in, but thank you if you have. Regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, thank you everybody for listening. We'll be back Thursday, hopefully with the new podcast. Hopefully, got a few more ideas. Got a good thing going here. So
More zingers.
maybe we can keep the flow up. So yeah, thank you everybody for listening. As always, I've been Cal. He's been Jack, and we'll see you in the
Lamb Jack,
next
in fact.
podcast. Peace and love.